you trying to do for real? For real.
Cosmic, psychedelic funk is what I came to do. Yep. Hi. I'm soul by funky. Hey. Soul by funky. Hi. I'm soul by cosmic soul.
Hey there, everybody. What's going on? Yep. You guessed it. It's another episode of the Office Authority Lounge. Myself and Alan T. Black over here. We are elated to come to you guys, and we don't have any guests. So that means y'all get a lot of us today. Hey, that's a bonus, right?
I can live with it.
So if you are one that tunes into this show all the time, thanks. We appreciate you so much. And on this show, we typically interview anybody in that authorship space. And today we're going to just give some gems and some jewels and maybe share some of the things that we wish we would have known, some of the things that people can be aware of as they're stepping into this amazing, wonderful world of authorship. When you agree it's amazing?
It really is. And I think the opportunities now are much more prolific than they were, say, 5 years ago. So there's a time in the season for everything, Toccara. I think this time and season is now
for sure
for those of us who want to start the journey in authorship or even continue the journey. So make it happen. Let's do it.
Make it happen. And so for me, I've been writing since the age of 7. I know only just a short couple years ago, right? Just a few, you know, I just sprouted up there. But it was this thing where my mom would put me on punishment for something I had done, naughty, right? And I would go to my room and I would write my diary. And maybe the first couple of pages would be how mad she made me. But then I noticed it turned into something that was so amazing. Mm-hmm. And so I remember growing up and being surrounded by many great teachers who saw the gift that I had for writing and pushed me gently into contests and things of that nature. We had a young authors program. And so my authorship journey has been one that has just grown with me. But if I can say, there was a time where I didn't trust my gift.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
You know, I think for me, it was different than what some of the people around me were doing, right? And so, you know, some people were swimmers and athletes and
then
I
get it.
Here I am with this gift to write. Never seen it in my family. What do I do with it? Kind of thing. And I remember having some amazing teachers come aside me and help me to articulate the words that I was using even better. Now I'm going to date us. I'm going to throw you in here. You okay with that?
Let me get back to you.
When I was in the 7th grade, we had to have a dictionary and a thesaurus.
I think I remember those.
You think you remember those,
I think I remember those.
I
do.
They came in the form of books. Mm-hmm. And I'll never forget it. I still have mine. And my mom went to Sam's Club, got me like a whole pack. So it was like the dictionary, the thesaurus, all the things. It was like a 5-pack. I will never forget it. But I was charged to use a different word with the feedback that my teacher was giving me. And I didn't know how to use the thesaurus. So I was like, that word. And I just inserted it instead of the word that she wanted me to use. So I remember, and you might remember this, like red pen was the way that they showed the errors and the corrections that you need to make.
Yes.
And
certain flashbacks.
Right? Okay. So certain
flashbacks.
Certain symbols meant certain things, like the 3 red lines meant that should be capitalized, or the little squiggly line meant that you should remove it.
Please stop.
Okay, I'll stop. I got you. But it was those moments that still stick with me now as authorship and writing has evolved to where there's so many systems, technology to help you to perfect your gift. What would you say?
That's so true, because I have to get past those flashbacks first before I go on to the next book.
I am so sorry.
But on a serious note, because of where we are now,
yeah,
you have so many more tools.
Yes.
That are going to make this process smoother.
Yeah.
And it's going to make it easier for
Yes.
you to take
Yes.
the initial steps to say, I want to be an author.
Yeah.
So this time and period, at least to me, is so exciting because, hey, I can do this.
Yeah.
And now because of technology, because of the internet, you had the capacity to actually explore even more so the different arenas that authorship are going to be invested in.
I love that. I love that. And so for those of you who may not know, I work with creatives, leaders, entrepreneurs to share their story, their vision when it comes to authorship, and just helping them to, birth the concept into the finished book. And I was having a call with someone recently, and he was writing a children's book, and he's asking me all the questions. And one of the things I told him, I definitely want to get your perspective on it. I said, authorship can lead into other streams.
Yes.
So authorship can be the thing that leads you to be a workshop facilitator, a keynote speaker.
Yes.
Not just a podcast guest, but a podcast creator. Just evolving from those things. And one of the things I told him about his children's book series, I said, make sure that it has a theme and a niche. So where if you had to present yourself to a specific audience, then they would be amped to buy your book because you're knocking off these different things on the checklist to really niche down and give yourself more of a broader opportunity as the author, but letting those things funnel down from there.
That's important because I think what everyone wants to remember is what you are writing gives you a certain level of expertise.
Absolutely.
For what it is you are putting pen to paper with.
Exactly.
And so it's also important for us as authors to keep in mind that whatever you are writing goes beyond yourself.
Yes.
And what I mean by that is you are writing, or you're being called to write in a capacity whereby it's going to speak to others as much as, or even more so than just speaking to yourself.
Perfect. And so that's what I work with people to understand, because authorship, even though it's really niche, it's a specific niche, people are starting to figure out how to tap into it, right? And let's talk about this. Let's shift for a second. What would you say to the person that has this desire to write the book, yet doesn't know where to start?
This will sound very simple.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's easy for us to overcomplicate things.
Indeed.
So I have told people, just get started. If nothing else, just a little bit every day. I've used the illustration, an African proverb. How do you eat an elephant? And the answer is one bite at a time. And the correlation is simply the fact that in authorship, you may be inclined or predisposed to say you've got this whole giant picture.
Yeah.
And you have to attack it all at one time and knock it out at one time.
Right.
That's not the case.
Yeah.
Just pick a point and just get started. I was talking with a young lady about a week ago, and she was dealing with the issue of, I'm not sure where to get started. Should I start in the middle? Should I start at the end? And I said, well, just pick a spot and just begin there. Now, in her case, I think what she's going to do is she may just start with the table of contents. But she was kind of feeling like, well, that's not really accomplishing anything. Yes, you are.
Yeah, you are.
Because you are setting the foundation for how you're going to go forward.
Yeah.
So again, it's very easy to look at the whole picture, the entire elephant as such.
For sure.
And make that your focus.
Yeah.
But we have to step back and say, one bite at a time, one line at a time is going to accumulate over a period of time to get you to that point of a holistic completion.
Yeah.
But just get started. That's the whole thing.
I love that. And so one of the things I do is encourage people to journal. And so I'll say, get a dedicated journal, or, in this day and age, technology, use your iPad or whatever, tablet you use, right? But set a timer for at least 15 minutes. Put your phone on airplane mode, so you're drowning out the distractions. Make sure that you're setting your environment that's conducive to what you're looking to produce. Mm-hmm. So, and some people like Toccara, that's wild. But some people write in their car. It's quiet. It's before they go in the house if they have kids. Some people write in their bathroom, especially moms. I hear it all the time, because that's the only quiet place that I can get away and no one's going to bother me, right? You get a lunch break if you're at work, take 15 minutes and go to your car. Or, go to the break room, set an alarm. Don't scroll on Facebook. Drown out the distractions, right? And so what I tell people is start with 15 minutes a day, put your phone on airplane mode, set a timer. What's going to happen is the timer's going to go off and you're going to still wanting to share more and say more. And so you're exercising a muscle that may not be used all the time, but what you're now doing is setting, like you said, bit by bit, you're setting these small goals. And journaling can look like anything. It can be talking about your day. It can be talking about your feelings. And it doesn't have to be in relation to the topic that you're looking to write about. Mm-hmm. But just get your mind in the habit of, I'm going to write. I am dedicated to being a writer. I'm going to start with journaling. And a lot of us have a plethora of ideas, concepts, things that we can build on that are sitting in a journal anyways.
And the other thing with the journaling part of that is this. And when we had a writer session about a week ago, we touched on this, Toccara. It's 100% on point to say, if I'm in the basement at 6:15 in the morning, that's my sweet spot. And what I mean by that is that's when it flows.
Yeah.
And like you said, it may be 15 minutes. It could be 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But create an environment, as you were alluding to, where everything else is blocked out. And for this 5-minute, 15-minute, whatever the timeline is, this is all you're doing. And then again with technology.
Yeah. Yeah.
In your car.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe you can't write it.
Yeah.
But you can record it on your phone.
Yeah.
You could be driving and just speaking into your phone for 5 or 10 minutes a day. And you'd be amazed at what you're going to accumulate quantitatively.
For sure.
At the end of a 30-day window.
Absolutely.
So it's really all about stepping back and saying, again, I can't do all of it at one time.
Right.
How do I look at breaking it down into smaller pieces or smaller components?
Right.
And then saying, this is how I do it to build to the point where, at the end, I have everything that I'm looking for. That's why I said we are predisposed to overthink it and overcomplicate it.
Yes.
And try to make it this huge, massive assignment, this big, giant mountain when, no, just a little bit every day is what builds up.
And that's so good. And you'll be surprised. I mean, one of my coaches, she challenged me to write a book in 30 days. I thought that she was absolutely redonkulous. And I was like, dang, how's that going to happen? And I wrote it in 28. And it is one of my best-selling books. And so one of the things that I love sharing with people, and I'm sure you can relate to, is out of all the people that are in the world, there's plenty of us, right? Mm-hmm. Anywhere from 2 to 3% of those people actually finish the process of becoming an author. 2 to 3%. And you wonder, or it's pretty clear, what are some of those barriers that stop people from even picking up the pen or setting that dedicated time to sit in front of their computer and keyboard or whatever mechanism that they're using to capture their thoughts? What is it that's blocking you from getting there? And I'm going to tell you one thing that I've done here recently, because I'm in a season of building and constructing my ecosystem within my business. I deleted Facebook, Instagram, all those, I love them, but all those things that distract me, I deleted them off my phone. So now I have more time to do the things I need to do. And one of the things that's so key, everyone has the same 168 hours in a week. The question is, and we're not often asked this question, what am I doing with my time?
That's the key. Again, the thing to think about from authorship, from my experience, is you have, like you said, 168 hours in a week. Yeah. What are you doing towards your goal of becoming an author in the course of a 7-day period? Yeah. I'm going to go back to the 2 to 3% conversation.
Absolutely. It's a good one.
The 97% that may not get done, this is just my thought, my opinion. Yeah. I think a lot of it comes down to self-incriminating restrictions. And what I mean by that is you say to yourself, the number one thing I'm going to always hear is, well, who's going to read my book?
Oh my God, yes.
And I find myself thinking, I did that as well when my first book that I wrote in 2017. Well, who's going to read this? Nobody wants to read it. So if that is the foundation where you start, then it's already starting to slide downhill to begin with, because then the next thing is, oh man, if I write this book, it's got to be like 700-800 pages.
You're reading my mind.
It's like, oh, I can't write 800 pages. And my chapter's got to be 50 and 60 pages long. And so you start building up this wall of resistance around you to the point where you become encased by all those reasons and rationales. Right. And then you say, I don't know how to get out of this, so I'm just not going to be doing it.
And you're absolutely right. And I believe that there's times where people would rather do what's comfortable than to learn something that could get them where they need to be and desire to be, yet it's not as comfortable. And one of the things that I see with my clients all the time is the piece where they are overthinking that their book has to be 5,483 pages for it to be effective. And I'm like, well, first of all, the Bible ain't even that big. And it's the most read book in the world.
I mean, come on, y'all.
Right? So, and that's when I love to be able to educate people and help them to understand that short reads are one of the best type of books that you can write. It's less than 100 pages. It allows for the reader to get in, grab what they need, and run and apply it. So, I think it's really healthy for people to either seek a coach, talk to the right people who have written the book. Just because they've written the book doesn't mean they're the right people to gain advice from. And then tapping into a community of authors where you can be around those like-minded individuals that are willing, open, and very transparent about sharing what their journey has looked like and continues to look like.
So share with our audience about the ink sessions that we do every month.
Oh, gladly. So If you go to yourauthorauthority.com and check out the AAAG, which is the Authors Authority Authorship Guild, we host ink sessions live in person here in Omaha every third Saturday. We also have what we call our Authors Happy Hour that takes place every last Friday of the month, and it's virtual, and it's from 6 to 8. And it's a really great way to be around like-minded individuals, ask the hard questions, get the soft answers, because we are really there to empower other people who are either stepping into this journey, who have fell off of the authorship path due to life situations, overthinking, and just really wrapping our arms around those who come. So again, it's yourauthorauthority.com, and check out the AAAG. It is one of the tabs on the website, and you'll see myself, you'll see Alan, you'll see one of the other co-founders of the AAAG, Nicole Lewis, and you'll see when you can plug into different activities. We also do pop-up with a pen. It's every third Saturday. It's virtually, even though we have 168 hours in a week. Some of us have time management issues and getting that done successfully. So we have protected time where you can just come and write.
That's really important, because sometimes when you're on this journey, of authorship, you may be inclined in the midst of the journey to think that no one else is out here.
Exactly.
And I don't know who to talk to. And you could get discouraged and say, well,
yeah,
I don't have someone to bounce ideas off, so I'll get back to it later.
Yeah.
And later never comes around.
Later never comes around. Now that's a really good one.
and we've all been there. So
yeah,
the thing when we are gathering as a group, as a community,
yeah,
there is the old saying that there is strength in numbers, which is an absolute irrefutable fact.
Yeah.
That being the case, when you are around like-minded individuals, you're going to glean from them. You're going to say, oh, Toccara, yeah, that sounds like what I went through. Or, well, yeah, Alan got started late, but there's no such thing as getting started late. So it becomes, I think, as much as anything, a system of reassuring you that you are not out here by yourself, and that you are in a position where you can connect and you can network with other authors just to kind of get their perspective, because where you are going, in a lot of cases, they've already been.
Yeah. So one of the things that we want to mention in our time before we leave is write a vision for where you desire your authorship journey to take you. Recently, I had an opportunity to travel to Italy to be a part of an author's retreat and workshop and speak to, the work that I do and all the things. And so you just never know where your work is going to lead you. And so it's really important to not overthink the process of getting started, because there's so much fruit and promises when you do get started.
It's great that you said that, because when you started writing, I would imagine there was never a second of any particular day where you thought one day I'll be on an international stage.
There's none.
You don't think about those.
No.
I think in my own situation, when I started shifting from my original writing basis of being a lyricist into authorship in 2015, 11 years later, I've written 3 books, but now I'm co-hosting a TV show. That there's no way I would have thought authorship would take me into that arena. So the great thing about this, and what's exciting to me, is when you start out as an author, yes, you're going to go down the road of authorship itself.
Yeah.
But there are going to be so many other different avenues that you're going to be exposed to.
Absolutely.
That you're going to say, oh, well, that That sounds interesting.
Right?
I'd like to do that. Why not?
Right?
Why not give it a shot?
Why not give it a shot? And one of the things that I think is one of the biggest myths, and we can touch on it, and then maybe, next time you and I sit down, we can talk about a little bit more, is building beyond that book, letting that book be the springboard to the other options that are out there for you, like traveling with your books, creating a book tour and stopping in different cities. And who do you know that you can get in front of? Who do you know that knows someone that you can get in front of? Now you're utilizing your network.
And your network, in all likelihood, is much larger than what you think it is.
Yes.
But when that book comes out, it now gives you a platform on which to stand.
For sure.
And then people are going to say, oh, I need you to come to my city, or, oh, I need you to come on my podcast.
Yeah.
I've done podcast interviews nationally and internationally over the last few years. And again, this was something I never
imagined.
I think one of my interviews was a simultaneous interview, which was a lady in Scotland, and it was being simulcast in Mozambique at the same time.
Wow.
And I'm like, this is just crazy, but that's the great joy and the excitement about being an author.
It is. And so just in our last kind of minute with you guys, one of the things that we're going to say is push beyond your own limitations that you've set up for yourself. Overcome stinking thinking. Take one step and watch what happens. What would you say?
Absolutely. I'll share what my father used to teach me. It's a biblical principle. He said, you know what? Peter got out of the boat and he sank in the water. But my father taught me, he said, you know what? You can't walk on the water if you don't get out of the boat. Because he also taught me, what were the other disciples doing? They were sitting in the boat being safe. To walk on the water means you may sink, but at least you got out there and you tried.
You tried.
You have to at least do that.
You have to at least try. So this has been great. YourAuthorsAuthority.com, and look for the AAAG if you want to join us. And we're here to support your authorship journey. And until next time.
We're out. We'll see you guys next time.
See ya.
Peace.
Bye.
What you trying to do for real? For real.
Cosmic psychedelic funk is what I came to do. Yep.